Alright everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the Saab 900 master cylinder and brake overhaul situation, if you've been following it. So over here, over from England, from Saab Bits UK, I think it was, there's a shiny new master cylinder. So rather than try to mess around with rebuilding both of those old ones, which both of them look like they've seen better days, was able to import a new one. There were none available in the US, as I had mentioned in the last section, so that was a problem. So that was a question of getting these reservoirs. Which ones do I want to use? Both of these are held on with these like pins. So on the one off the 1980, I was actually able to just sort of tap the pins out, so that one wasn't as rusty. I suggest using like a punch set of some sort to try to get those out, because it's going to be a little bit of a challenge otherwise for you to get those out of there without using some sort of system to poke them out. Basically, on this one they were very rusty. I ended up having to drill them out, slash just sort of wrestle it out of there, what's left of it. It's not looking great. So the one on the 86 is this reservoir, which inside, I think this is actually the 80. 86 is a lot cleaner. I still have to do a little bit more cleaning in there, but it's kind of hard to see in here. Baffles, but it's a little bit cleaner. Maybe this car had been sitting longer without brake fluid flush, but this one's kind of gross. I don't know if I want to use this one. However, because I had to drill out the posts, or the those like pins, these on this side got a little bit nicked up. I think it's probably going to be workable, but I have to try and see how well it seals, and hopefully, as long as it holds, this one from the 86 should be the better option. So I'm going to try to clean this one up a little bit more, and then I will mount it to the new cylinder and see if it seats up well and is tight and snug enough that I think it'll hold fluid, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I have the 86 master cylinder, the newer parts car one, on. These pins were kind of annoying. I just ended up using the ones that came off the old one from the 1980 that weren't too badly corroded. So they seem to be in a little bit better shape. Again, punch and a hammer are helpful to get those in. Those I probably would have had to like bend down or something. This one is about as clean as I'm going to get it. There's a little bit of staining, maybe. Can't really see it on camera. Hopefully that's going to be alright. I think the only way to get it, because these are like baffles in here, so the only way to get that out would, I think, would be like an ultrasonic cleaner or something, or if I let it soak maybe for days and days and days, but still it would be a challenge to get all of the staining out totally. I think it'll be alright. There's no major dirt or chunks or anything in there, so we'll see. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some grease on the end here. Some of that super lube stuff. It's not curling approved, but oh well. I'll steal a little gasket from the 86 and put it on there, and then we'll hook up the connections and start to try to bleed the system. So here we go. Alright, so the new master cylinder is in and bled, hopefully. My Mighty Vac vacuum pump, which is just one of these units that connects to a reservoir, wasn't really doing the trick. I had some trouble with vacuum bleeding the BMW as well. So I went and got this thing. It's a pressure bleeder on Amazon. It's like Orion Motor Tools or something. Orion Motor Tech. Yeah, that's it. I'm not sponsored, obviously, with the tiny amount of views that I get. Nobody's going to give me tools, but it just hooks up to the reservoir. There's a cap that goes on, and you just screw it on, and you pump it up. And so I was running at about 10 or 15 psi on the gauge here. If it will focus, not that it's probably going to, but yes, right in there-ish. It seemed to move enough fluid. And with a vacuum pump, the pedal was pretty soft. In fact, very soft. But now it seems to be pretty hard, so I think we're good to go. When I hooked up the pressure bleeder, I got a bunch of sort of nasty old fluid that clearly hadn't been fully extracted from the lines. The only problem that I ran into with the pressure bleeder is the clutch line, which, if you're familiar with these cars, it sort of sticks on back here. So clutch line ectomy to get that going. So I just put a plug with a hose clamp in there temporarily, and then filled everything up so that I could pressure bleed it without it just shooting brake fluid everywhere. So I'm gonna have to try to put that one back on. I just have it capped off with a bolt. I'll probably just try to fill this like all the way up, and know that I'm probably gonna lose a fair amount of it before I can get that line stuck back on the reservoir. So that's gonna be a little bit of an adventure, but so far so good. Everything seems to be working. So the next step is to get it on the ground and do a brake test. Still have it up on the stands. Alright, so I got the wheels back on, gave it a brake test in the garage. It seemed to be pretty good, and I've gone on a couple drives. The brakes seem to be fine. No leaks, no problems, so I think we're back in business. It's going to conclude this series. Luckily there wasn't another part, because that wouldn't have been great. But stay tuned for more Saab content. There are many projects to do on this thing, and I hope to see you soon.